Tapping in.
Are we live?
Man, I too frequently feel like this, you know?
Indeed.
Nah, go ahead.
I mean, look, dude, it's a sad day in South Africa for sure. It's a sad day in South Africa for sure. Our very own Riky Rick, we lost a valued member of the music, hip hop, art, fashion community. Somebody who was very grounded in where he's from, grounded in his community, pioneer undoubtedly in the South African music scene. And it is reported that it is by means of taking his own life, which makes this even more painful. So we just, it was a sad one. You're right. This is a painful one.
Yeah, man, and I'll be the first to say that I wasn't super up on Ricky Rick's music, so it cuts both ways for sure, and it always hurts when you find out about somebody and their past, right? As a fan of Chicago music, that's a common theme as well. So this is also a reminder to me to be better to reaching out about you to share with me some of the music that's popping off across the globe and especially in South Africa. From what I hear, this person was not only an incredible artist, but somebody that lifted up other people. And so something that this podcast always acknowledges is that when a young Black man becomes successful, a young Black person becomes successful, a lot of people get to eat. A lot of people get to eat off that. And it's always really hard when we lose somebody who, not just for the financial reasons, but was creating opportunities, was creating hope in a community.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this is particularly painful on my side because, and this is, opening up now to the larger conversation of the show, which is about mental health, mental healthness, and taking care of oneself, right? As you know, my history is there's been a lot of suicide in the history, in my history, right? And more recently, my close cousin took his life. So this was one of those first instances. I don't know, if any of you have had a similar experience where the news and how it's read is so triggering. And immediately I thought about, man, hearing this story must be so triggering for other people who have also been through it. Just the graphic detailing that they explained how they found it. And so it was one of those new engagements with the feeling where it was like, yeah, this is painful and hurt that this person is gone, but it definitely brings me back to and also a very more painful part of something that I'm familiar with.
Yeah, man. I'm just as a human in this moment, like I feel for you. I feel for you as my brother. I feel for your family. And for all the folks that have experienced this, right? Like that's to lose a loved one is shattering no matter how it happens. But no doubt, right? But I think, there are certain questions that people are left with, and I know, when there's been people who've taken their own lives in my circles, there's always a question for me in my head of what could I have done that last interaction, you know what I mean? Could I have hugged them tighter? Could I have held them down harder just in general? But I think this is evidence of, and to quote another person we bring up on the show often, Dave Chappelle, right? The environment of entertainment, the environment of being successful as a Black person anywhere. These are not places that weak people get to, right? So this was a very strong person, right? And there are strong people all over the globe in all types of professions that are really, really struggling. And so something I'm glad to see more of is people shouting out and reaching out and saying, look out for your strong friends. Look out for the people that don't talk about their feelings. Try and eliminate that. Try and break down, that barrier between having these conversations about how you are, how you really are,
Man, and if I can do anything, it just allow ourselves to know that it's okay to be It's okay to be not okay, man. It's okay to be not okay. And I think we're all walking around with so much weight, the pressures of life, the ebbs and flows of it. Maybe it's medical, maybe it's not, whatever cards you're dealt with. Um, it's like the saying, the heaviest thing that you're dealing with is the heaviest thing that you're dealing with. So it's not fair to compare people's weights in terms of what you're carrying versus what I'm carrying. That's irrelevant because we all feel that what we're carrying is super heavy, but it's okay to know that I'm not okay, and
Right.
understanding that
That's rational
the
though. That's it. You're still thinking rationally though. You know what I'm saying? You know
mm,
that's a very mindful way to keep a steady head.
yeah.
Steady. Look at me.
He said steady head. But no, you're right, man. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So and if I can open the conversation to Delonte a little bit, part of the reason why we have you on the show as well, if you're comfortable with it, and we like to say over here that the vulnerable is super powerful, and the most gangster thing you can do is serve. And so we continuously try and push ourselves and being vulnerable and sharing our own story, right? And I know from your perspective, you definitely have had to go through and deal with with a few things regarding your mental health. Would you be open to kind of speak on that and what has allowed you to get to a place now where you are trying to be the best version of yourself?
Um, just waking up every day and knowing that and telling myself everybody makes mistakes, man. You got. I grew up quick, bro. Like, I've been in and out of. I was, oh man, how many years was this? This was probably my. Excuse me, I have to clear my throat.
You good.
My bad.
No problem.
Uh, Let me think. I've been in and out of rehab like 3 times rehabilitation. So technically, it's like being institution. What do they call it? What is that song?
Institutionalized.
Institutionalized.
There we go. That's a long word. I was clapping my hands. But yeah, I've been there a couple times, dude. I'm just feeling overwhelmed, thinking that God wasn't there, but He's always been there. I try to keep my head in the books. Got a few Bibles. I like to take my pictures of the bracelets on my Bible just because it just looks. It just I'm also really picky about presentation. And stuff like that. So but I think this is nice, man. I think this is dope. Dope to be here. So
Yeah. Damn, man, that's so deep, man. And I think the value that you have, not just to the show, but like in your perspective on life, right, is that you've you've walked through some of those dark places that people can't imagine, right? Just being in rehab, no matter what it is, that's
yeah,
not an easy place to be in, so that you have so much perspective on how deep it can go for real.
yeah,
Yeah, man. And I just, I'm always appreciative of your openness. You know what I mean? I love that no matter where we go, no matter who we're talking to, that like just I know that you have my back and I know that you just have such a good heart. You know what I mean? And I just love that you're willing to share that with people despite
yeah.
everything that you've been through, everything that we've been through,
Always, bro. Always.
you know?
If you don't, if I don't mind just prying further, what was that time in your mind during your moments in rehab? Like, what are some of the thoughts that pulled you out of there, and like how what is that like going through? That's not something I've experienced.
Panic attacks. I witnessed my first really really bad panic attack when I was in there. I think I was just going to go get some water or food or something like that. Out of the refrigerator they kept there, and shit, man. Some woman passed out in the hallway, and then I don't know. I was on some medication that during the day, like I had to take it in the morning, which I'm not really used to. But the effects of this medication was, oh, God, those panic attacks were awful, bro. They were scary, bro. They were real, very real, and I just had to, but I do some meditation, and I learned that if I just like work out in my room, I got enough space. I live in 400, 300,000 square foot home with my mom. I got my own bedroom, my car, and stuff like that. So, but I'm getting off subject.
That's a part of the show. Don't worry about that.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a part of the show. But
yeah, man.
like, the reason why I even asked that, bro, is because there's so many people that have gone through that experience, right? Like those panic attacks that you're talking about, that feeling of how real it is, and I can feel it when you're saying it.
Yeah.
And I think a part of helping the issue is normalizing that type of conversation. Like, is normalizing the fact that, like, hey, yo, that's not something that you're going through alone. That's something that a lot of people are going through, and this is how you know when you're going through it. And these are the thoughts and things that I did to get up out of it. So when you're saying, I'm like, the Bible helped pull me out, and you said exercise and staying active, like all those things, man. That information can save somebody's life for real.
Yeah, true. Truth be told, bro.
Yo, yeah, man. So thank you for sharing your experience.
Yeah.
And I appreciate both of you. You mentioned meditation. Zoe is somebody who I know is really big on meditation, and so I think a big part of whatever all of us are going through is having your community of people that support you, that love you. And so I'm supremely lucky, right, to have two brothers from other mothers that, are part of my support system that take care of me. So thank y'all for always looking out for me. And I promise to always continue looking out for y'all, man.
Always.
Yeah, man. And before we even get up out of subject too far, there also is another RIP that we need to get to. Unfortunately, the UK has lost one of their very own, somebody who was well respected in the UK music scene. Jamal Edwards tragically passed away this weekend. Yeah, it's a heavy weekend, man.
Health all around, man. Health all around. The mental health side and the physical health side. Yeah, no, it's real, man. It's tough out here. So my man was 31, and what's been released is that he passed away from a sudden illness. As somebody who doesn't really think about birthdays, I'm basically 30. You know what I mean? I'm right at the door of it. This is scary, and it's also sooner than it's wild, right? Like you don't start to think about, like, especially as a black man, right? It was always going to be something else, right? It's going to be the police. There's going to be gun violence. There's going to be something else. But just think about it being just a sudden illness that takes you out at 30, maybe 40, maybe 50. You start thinking about that stuff. But this is a reminder that we all need to think about our health, how we take care of ourselves right now. Not saying that this was preventable. Not saying that this was, anything that he could have done, but get if a lot of us, especially as people of color, are system avoidant, which means we don't like to go anywhere where they take your name down, they take your intake form. We don't like to deal with it, right? So, but
black men hate the hospital is what is happening, and then that's not to make light of this situation at all. I'm just saying, as the black man that hates the hospital.
Got to get over that. Got to get over that hate, man. Got to get over that hate of the hospital, because people love you, man. And this was certainly a person that was loved for real, and a super accomplished person, right? So Jamal Edwards was a British music entrepreneur, a DJ, and founder of the music platform SBTV. He was also an ambassador for the Prince's Trust, a youth charity which helps young people set up their own businesses. So There's a theme here, fam. There's a theme here right now of mental health, of physical health, but also of Black folks that are doing incredible things. So we got to give these flowers. We got to just stand in the humility of, like, what this person was able to do by 31. This is incredible. That's right. That was we got some people chiming in from outside, but yeah, this is an incredible soul. For sure.
Yeah. And they say you measure the greatness of a man based on what people do in the wake of your death, right? What do people do in your name once you have transitioned from this earth? And for this man to be so close to our age and have taken such huge strides from an impact perspective, from a business perspective, it's something that is definitely motivating. And if at any point, given an untimely demise, my transition galvanizes people to pick up what I had left off in terms of how to help people, man. I think that's the highest honor you can have. So rest in power to Jamal Edwards for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And it's incredible to see, like, not the impact that this person had. Just kind of looking at the things he's spoken out and said, the things that he's done for the British music industry to bring hip hop to the forefront, right? And not only hip hop, but like all types of music. Ed Sheeran is somebody who's been very vocal post his passing, just expressing his pain and also lifting up the accomplishments of Jamal Edwards, right? He was responsible for like SBTV, that platform lifted up Ed Sheeran, Stormzy, Dave, Skepta, AJ Tracy, J Hus, Heady One. These are some of the heavy hitters of the grime music industry. And some amazing people to have in your Spotify or your Apple Music. So go ahead and dive into those as well. So that underlines the contribution that Jamal Edwards made, right? And he arrived at a crucial time, right? His platform was one where these artists, especially in grime, had some very heavy restrictions. There's a specific assessment form called 696 that made sure that a lot of grime artists couldn't get gigs around London and other places in the UK. So his platform was like was breaking through for a lot of these artists and giving them a space. So can't say enough about everything that was amazing that this person did.
For sure. For sure. And before anything else, because we like to share information over here, I just would like to put people up on the fact that there are online therapy apps and services that you can tap into. It's no longer an old antiquated system of having to, sit on a rinky couch and have somebody prodding to your brain. That's not that experience at all. And we've spoken about it over here, what that experience has been for us and how helpful it has been. So BetterHelp is a site like that people can look into. Talkspace is another site like that people can look into. And for my BPOC community, you got Ayana Therapy, which is for black people of color. Yeah, people of color. So check that out, man. Please do go speak to somebody about what you're carrying. Damn.
Big facts, man. Appreciate you bringing facts, bringing the resources. That's what we're about. Talk to us, right? Jump in the comments with how you feel, what you want to hear us talk about. If there's any way that we can be better about bringing resources to y'all, if there's any way that we can be better about reaching out to y'all, yeah, man, we want to do that. This is what it's about. Where we at with it?